Okay, well, here we are. We're down to the last 2 weeks. And so, thank you for taking the class. Thank you for all of your excellent work. This week we have a kind of a different assignment. It's kind of your assignment. Um, and it's called the opportunity to explore. So, what it is it's your opportunity to explore any topic about the development of the human being that you want to explore. So that means that, like, during the course of the semester, we might have covered things that you wanted to look into in more depth, but you just didn't, or have the ability, or we just didn't cover it. So you kind of have to think a little bit outside the box for this assignment. Like I say, it's your assignment. You're going to take an assignment, and it would be like, hey, Professor Jordan, I read this great article, or I looked into this topic, and I just want to share with you what I learned, what I found out. So it's a pretty informal um, paper, other than you do have to cite your resources. So make sure you watch the tutorial that explains the assignment in more detail. Probably the key thing I would say is make sure that you don't use your textbook as a reference because it won't count. Don't use any films we've watched, any mini lectures you watched. Those can be jumping off points, but they can't be the basis for this assignment simply because that's all required work. This is going outside of what is required of you, looking into a topic outside the boundaries of what's been required in this class. So, um, so when you do it, there's 5 parts to the assignment. One is, what's your question? Okay, just write your question. Here is my question. Here's the topic that I want to cover. Second part is, here's why I picked this question. The third part is kind of the body of the assignment. Here's what I found out, and here are the resources I use. So make sure that you cite your resources. You can cite them at the bottom. You can cite them in the context of your answer, of your findings, but just make sure they're there. And then the next part is collaboration. In other words, you have to talk to somebody about what you found out. So often when we talk to somebody else, we realize, wow, I guess I really didn't look into it that deeply. Or maybe the person you talk to has some other insights into that topic. In other words, they've researched it, they've looked into it, they've experienced it. And so you kind of have a little give and take that you'll talk about. And then the last part is, well, how are you going to apply this to your life? So often I hear students say, well, geez, everything I'm studying is just not applicable to my life. It's just so theoretical, it's just out there. Well, that's the beauty of psychology, because we are talking about ourselves, and we are discovering things about ourselves, about those around us, our interactions with those people, and then our world. So, um, how am I going to use this information? Okay, that's up to you. So you get to pick the topic. You get to pick, where you're going to find that information. You become the expert teaching me. I can't tell you how many times students have written these assignments, and I've gone in and looked into the research that they've cited and gone into it and really looked into it in quite a bit of depth, and then it shows up in my lectures in future semesters. So just students have come up with some really cool research. So make sure you do that. Make sure you do the little lecture quiz and activity. There's a couple assignments in MindTap, so all of that's just rhythm for you. So anyways, if you have any questions about this assignment, then let me know. But I look forward to seeing what you decide to research.